So it's Danny Flexen here for SecondsOut. Delighted to be joined by my good friend, coming off a big win as well, Ryan Walsh. Ryan, how you doing, mate?
I'm really good, thank you, Danny.
GBM Sports Show on Saturday night. I think one of the more intriguing fights on what was a pretty stacked show, in fairness, was you against Reece Mould, someone who'd been at lightweight for the majority of his career, against someone who's got all the pedigree, former British, long-time British champion at featherweight, but maybe not as active in recent years as you liked. I think most people, observers, were expecting a close one. You had none of that. You dropped him early and wiped him out, three knockdowns, first round. Um, he wasn't the only one stunned by that result, I imagine. You weren't. Why were you so confident going in?
We was meant to fight years ago at featherweight, and I liked his style, I liked his attitude, and well, until we actually got made to fight. Prior to the fight, we'd met when they fought Maxi, we'd met outside, and I just had a good feel. And I remember his dad saying, "You're gonna fight him," and I was like, "Damn right, I'm gonna fight him. I'm a prize fighter." That's why I held on to the belt so long. They had to actually take it off me. I was never going to give it up ever. I'll never give a belt up. I never have. I've had three titles now, and two of them they've had to take off me. And in some ways, it didn't matter because I think I outgrew the weight. I outgrew Super Bantam. I've outgrew Feather. I
Oh,
think
it's
I
coming
found,
back to me now. Yeah, so Reece Mould was the mandatory, but you were in
yes,
the Golden Contract tournaments. You
yes,
weren't able
yes.
to defend in the time.
And I told them at the time, don't strip me because when I finish this contract, I'll fight him. And then obviously I lost to Jazza and he got then to fight. And yeah, it still bugs me a little bit. That does bug me because it's wrong. And that's I would have got more money to fight Reece back then than I got the other night. But everything for a reason. I'm not going to say I'm bitter about it. It just bugged me a little bit because I just think I won't show much respect. I've been a very gracious and proud British champion. I love that belt. I think it's the most beautiful belt in boxing. And I give that to my brother and it hangs in our gym really with a lot of pride. So I'd like to have been able to get two of them because I feel like Liam was unfortunate. He was definitely the best British featherweight, but the way his path went, he never got to keep it. So I need another one to give to Liam, really.
Yeah, it's funny how it all works out because obviously Reece Mould ended up fighting Lee Wood, and that
Yeah,
projected him onto the world scene. And Lee Wood was in that contract tournament. He lost to Jazza in the semi-final, and then you fought Jazza in the final. So it's weird because you're all still involved, aren't you, as well? You know,
yeah,
you're veterans of the game, but all still performing pretty well. You know, Jazza recently had that IBO run. Lee Wood still at the very top level, and you've just got a big win. What's the kind of immediate plan? Not immediate plans, because I guess it's filling your face for the most part. But what's
sure.
the yeah, done, completed it, mate. But what's the plan going forward now?
Try and capitalize on a little moment where the bookies had me in under driver. Like it was quite strange to be in that position, but mentally and obviously physically in the performance, you could see I never felt like an underdog. I never felt 38. I wanted to tell this Adam. Adam asked me before the fight, how's your legs? And I thought, because he's been in the game so long, he's recently told me that's one of the first things to go. Me personally, in fact, I agree with him. When people start losing their balance, I've seen it happen with Danny Williams a long time ago. A man who could hold a shot all of a sudden was you lose your legs and you're gone. And I understand that. But what I wish I would have said to Adam, Adam Smith asked me this 2 days day before the fight, and I last year I played 30 games for my local team and 10 games for my veteran team. So I had a good feeling that my legs are just fine. But it's different, obviously, football and boxing. But yeah, it was a fair question. I didn't really get proof to show it, but you show this to yourself and to your trainers and to your family inspiring before you fight. And for me, more than my legs, it'll be my reactions. If they ever go, I'm done. I've got a big head, and if I can't make people miss, I'm stuffed.
And then you've beaten Reece Mould. He was at a decent level and on a decent run. But as you've said, you'd like another British title if possible. The champion at the moment is Sam Noakes. He's also got the European title. Is there a chance he vacates? And if not, is that a fight you'd like?
Yeah, I think it's just, I'll be dead honest with you, it's all just financial now. The British title is something I want because I believe it's a title that without COVID, Liam gets. We both got COVID that week, which was a nightmare, 3 weeks before the fight. So Liam would have been British champion. That bugs me. So I really want that. Yeah, I do want the British title. If it was Knox and it was the right money, 100%. Good fighter, solid, can clearly punch. I do like the style. I think that's nice. the one I was targeting and thinking was going to be a has already been done because Padley beat Chamberlain. I thought Chamberlain. I don't really particularly have a great record with southpaws. I just thought he was there for the taking at lightweight. He's a huge, huge lightweight. Noakes himself is a huge lightweight, and I feel that's my advantage because I've lost not fights to weight, but I've lost. I don't like making excuses on reasons, but it's hard when you get to a certain point in a weight, and I think Chamberlain looks like that anyway. He looks like a light welter fighting at lightweight, and Noakes hasn't got very long either because he gets harder much. And I've just made the weight after 24 years better than I've ever made it. So I'm really confident that lightweight's where I should be.
And
So
so Sam Noakes is kind of one option. Something that you and other people talk about leading up to the Reece Mould fight is, of course, a rematch with his stablemate Maxi Hughes. Between Maxi and the Walsh twins, it's 1-1 at the moment. Would you like another bite at that particular cherry?
I can't give you 1-1 because he was telling me it was 1-1 before. It's 2-1 in it. Liam beat Maxi, have now beat Reece. So it's 2-1
Oh,
against the
Reece is
gym
involved,
against
is he?
Reece.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Reece is part of that group. So we're 2-1 up there. But Max is a possibility. I mean, again, it's just money, Danny. If they can pay me the right money and get me excited, and obviously it's all about giving me. I was really happy with GBM. I was really happy with the time they give me to prepare. They didn't try and, because everyone knows I've got. Well, if they don't know, I'll tell you now. I've got one vice. I love my food. This Biscoff can attest. Biscuits and ice cream. We've all got something. I'm not perfect, and as long as I've got the right amount of time. And to be fair, I think it wouldn't take. Right now is the perfect time. I'd love to be fighting in the next month or two. Really would. It's just the money. It's just can somebody, incentivize me to do it, and it's a style as well. I'd love to get the right fight with the right style for the right money, and that Riyadh season is something that's really that intrigues me. That's something that I'd love. All our fans they were brilliant the other night. By the way, I must thank them because they were so good. It was. I think whatever every ticket they give us, Liam and Michael saw I think mainly Liam for this one and Graham. And I also have to thank my team as well. They were brilliant. It was a really good weekend, but we've got such good support. To say we've been doing this 16 years and you can still get 60 plus Norfolk people and obviously Rochdale as well to travel the 3 hours. And it's not just the 3 hours there, it's the 3 hours back for 2 minutes of a fight and nobody's complained. Nobody said, because the build up was that good and GBM, I can only give Izzy and his team to, I think they're fantastic with the internet stuff. I've put a video, I've done a big status thing and turned it into a video on my WhatsApp, and a lot of that's through GBM, and they're really good at what they do. I do feel like if I was their man, if I would have been their one that they're signed, it'd have been even bigger because it feels like GBM, DAZN, all them have gone, oh no, the wrong man won, so we don't care. It's I understand the business. It's not no one's promoting me. I am a free agent. I am a mercenary and have goals, will travel, and can only pray that other people show the same attitude in the future that Reece did because it really made that sweet. When people talk the way he talked, disrespect the way he disrespects, that outcome was a dream.
And Liam, as we've said, he's your twin, so exactly the same age. He helps you out in the gym. He sees what you did on Saturday night from the corner, evergreen performance. Is he not getting itchy knuckles at this point to come back once again?
No, the thing with Liam is I think Liam stopped loving boxing, or not so much loving it, but he loves boxing to watch. He understands the fight, and I hate talking from a brother, but this is what I'm gathering through a lot of conversations. He was when my dad died. I think some part of Liam's boxing life died with him, because for me, for my brothers, your first hero usually is your dad, and it is for me. He'll never not be my hero. He's my first male representative of what a man should be, and everything we are comes from that. So I think when my dad died, Liam's lost a little bit of love for it. Whereas me, I come to the sport late. My dad told me some things, and I love trying to prove him right. Before I walked out, the cameras probably didn't see it, but I'm always talking to him because he always said not seeing the best in me, and I had said that before I walked in. I looked up, I said, right, now I'll show you, see the best in me, and I hope everyone got that little bit of it, but they wouldn't have known it. But I'm always mindful of my dad, and I think maybe Liam. I've got to be happy because my dad got to see Liam have a fight of the year. That's the last fight my dad ever watched. So we have got something where he did see. Liam can be proud of that. But yeah, for Liam, I sparred him a few months ago, and he's still the best Walsh. He's still the most talented Walsh. He could still come back, beat Maxi, Chamberlain. No, he could beat them all. And I'm not disrespecting them man by saying that. It's just what I wholeheartedly believe. He's still that good. He's still better than me. If people didn't know, I'm whatever title I've got. If I put it on the line with him, yeah. Unless I could find a way to knock him out, which is a lot easier said than done. You need to be an elite fighter, tank, to even contemplate that. So no, yeah, he's still. I don't feel that bad about it because it is. I think if it was just fighting and there was an incentive there, so a fighter like Ricky Burns or someone around that, I think he could. But it really, I've talked to him about it. It'd have to be something. There's a few fights I think he'd love to have. Ricky Burns, Stephen Smith, a few of them old guard guys who there's some fights that he would love to have. Ricky Burns is the one that because we before he fought Tank, I know it's not the ideal sparring partner. He went and sparred Ricky Burns, and I was there live, and they had 10 brilliant rounds. It was really good. You'd have happily paired. It'd have been one of them fight of the year type things, ebb and flow. So unless that ever comes to fruition, I don't see Liam ever putting the gloves back on.
Stephen Smith, that was the ABA final, wasn't it, or semi-final?
Semi-final, and he beat
Yeah,
him 7-6, and there's nothing but respect for that. It's not like he holds a grudge or anything.
yeah.
I think that would have been a really good professional fight with a little bit amateur history, which always makes a fight better.
And you said there, GBM Sports, there's no sense of, the wrong man won. But you were being brought in as kind of a big name to hopefully, from their point of view, go on the record of Reece Mould. If it hadn't gone your way on Saturday night, do you think you would have ended up in that kind of opponent mold going forward?
Possibly because I've got gloves. Obviously not on now. I've got that attitude that I'll fight anybody, any time, any place. It's just the incentive, and they give me a good incentive. And more than anything, Reece Mould, from the first time we met, Liam told me that he'd gone to print that he's going to knock me out, and I didn't believe him. I thought it was just my brother was a wind up. I thought, you did, what are you on about? He's just trying to wind me up before I get there. And then he said it to me within seconds of being there. I didn't think he believed it. I didn't. It's easy saying it, but he had my attention from that point. Nobody in 30. Well, I've had it twice during a fight in the contract. I'm fighting that Cuban, and at the end of the first round, and I batter him in the first round. I give it to him. I'm better than him. I know this. I'm getting to him, and I don't know what he was thinking, but he looked at me and went, "I'm going to knock you out." And just like with Reece Mould, I'm like, "Oh, really? How are you coming to this conclusion? I've just battered you." And the same with Reece. How did you get to that conclusion? But I suppose false confidence. Because I remember Adam not beat. Like, I've been really offended by that comment because I thought, say you're going to beat me, say you're going to outpoint me, say you I can't imagine anyone out fighting me. I don't believe that's possible. I actually don't believe there's a fighter at 9 stone 9, Tank, anybody else who'll stand in that middle of the ring and outfight me. Call me stupid, I don't mind. But someone's going to have to prove that to me. I'm 38 years old. I think I'm in my second prime. I think my first prime was at featherweight. This is my second at lightweight. And I do feel if someone comes close enough to these little arms, I'm always in a good position. I don't blame Maxi. I don't blame Selby when he done. I don't blame Jazza for all boxing me because they all did outbox me fair and square, and that's the way they should have done it, and that's the way they did do it. But outfight me, no, and that's what Reach was half telling me he was going to do, and I was really excited by that. And I do feel like we didn't even get the fight that I was expecting.
Now you're in your second prime. I'm not even sure I've had my first, in fairness. I'm a bit jealous, a bit envious. But talking of the future, if it hadn't have gone your way against Reece, do you think you'd have continued with your career?
Yeah, I'll never retire, Danny. Especially the way I was feeling. I'm sparring guys younger than Reece. The two guys I sparred are both champions, and it's like, yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's harder because of the recovery. It is harder because there's things that like it's my favorite exercise, second favorite. The other one's not for not PG-18, but I
Yeah,
tell you
we
now,
get
you
it.
need a partner for the exercise that I love, and I love competing, I love games, I love sports, but there's just something about I just feel alive when I'm doing it. I'm so grateful, so lucky that I'm lucky enough to be living out my dream. So for the last 6 or 7 weeks, twice a week, I get to be alive and inspiring these young people, and you get a little some bits of adrenaline, especially when they're trying to punch your head in, which they are. They're both preparing for their fights. They're both trying to get one over on me, and I can't thank them enough. Louis Doheny and Mikey Weber can. Thank you very much. If you're watching this, You really did help me in that fight. You was Yeah, it's hard work. I've done so many rounds with them now. My tricks don't work on them the same. I have to invent new things. I have to invent myself every spar. And I'm really looking forward to sparring them again. So I always love sparring after a fight, especially after a fight that's only lasted 2 minutes. There's a lot of energy I've still got, although I'm not looking forward to too many body shots with the amount of ice cream I've had.
And we should say, because people will be able to see the balloons in the background, it's a very happy, what, eighth birthday to Caesar, your youngest?
Yeah, he's my youngest boy, and like I was saying to you off camera is, yeah, it came to me, wait a minute, his birthday's on Monday. I've got a little present I can get for him. And it worked out really well because he ended up going to Centre Parks on Monday. But before he left, I asked him, "What's your favourite present?" He went, "The belt." And I was scratching my head. I thought, I didn't buy a belt. I said, "What do you mean? The belt?" And my mum was there. And she went, "Your belt that you won him." I was like, "Oh, God, yeah." And that was his favourite present. So that's really made me happy as well. He loved it.
Is that, in a way, is that why your second prime may be more enjoyable than your first? Because your kids are at an age where they understand what you do now and they can follow it.
A little bit, yeah, because my 18-year-old son and my 15-year-old son, nearly got it wrong there. They were both there live. And my two nephews, I should say my sons as well, because I treat them all the same. And two of my nephews as well, Michael's oldest and Liam's oldest, so Lenny and John, Lenny being Liam's oldest, John being Michael's, they were on the track with me. So during the summer holiday, just at the end of the summer holiday, 3 or 4 times, both brilliant runners as well, Danny. They'll bury me. And I think Lenny could probably bury me now, Liam's eldest, and Michael's eldest is good. And they were coming to the track with us, and it really did help. And I did thank them both. I was like, you don't realise how much you help when you just get me to get a little bit more. When you're working with like all these younger people, it can only help to make you younger because I never felt 38. And I've obviously got a younger girlfriend now, which has really helped. She's 27. So I'm never going to feel my age when I'm constantly in an environment of much younger people.
And you're doing really well. What for a lot of boxers of your weight would be considered an advanced age. A lot of fighters younger than you have retired already. You know, Liam's retired twice now. Um, what keeps you going? What's the secret? Not just keeps you going, but at the level you are and succeeding.
It's not much of a secret nowadays because everyone knows, everyone talks about it. It's just hard work, consistency, and I think living clean. I've been very, don't know if I'm lucky or what I am. I say clean and then I'm sat here with a
I was going to
stupid
say, he says
biscuit.
while hiding the Biscoff out of sight.
Sugar is not very clean, but like I've never been a party goer. I don't, like I said, I don't drink, smoke, and do illegal drugs or any drugs really, other than bastard sugar. But I'll never beat sugar. I love it too much. But I think that's the key to it. Just being honest with yourself. It's not really much of a secret. I just work out. And like I said, I think the thing I've learned in the last couple of years is having a younger girlfriend's really helped. She's 10 years my junior, and yeah, she's given me a breath. I've been a breath of fresh air. I can't thank her enough. And then I think playing for my local team last year, I'm the oldest player on in our team by a mile. I played the most games. There's one player close to me. We both got managers player of the season together. He played 29, I played 30. And I played 10 for the vets. The vets is brilliant. So I play with these kids on a Saturday and they are fast, Danny, honestly, they're everywhere, loads of energy. Then I play with my own age, 35 and above, on the Sunday, and I'm like, I'm fast again. It was, yeah, it's been a journey for that, but longevity is down to eating, sleeping, and drinking clean. I think that really does help. And naturally, I'm a twin, so I believe I was a really slow developer. I didn't turn pro till I was 22. I had hardly any amateur fights. I hadn't had much wear and tear, and yeah, it's been. I think that's all adds together to give you that little bit more longevity. But I'm not. I'm not really a freak. Lara's a freak. 41-year-old still fighting at world level. Bernard
And had
Hopkins was a
hundreds of
freak.
amateur fights, Lara, as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these guys, they're freaks. I'm just lucky enough to be able to be in a position where I'm physically and mentally active and able enough to keep living out my dream. And I want to prolong it and give it more longevity.
And how do you get to a point when you can be a bit more active now? Because chinning a prospect who people are hoping would win probably isn't the best way to get the phone ringing.
That's a good shape, Dan. I've been thinking this myself. I told them all before I was the president, CEO, king of who needs him. And I don't think that's helped that case, but we have got that ball, but we have got that belt, we have got that ranking, and you never know. Izzy might want to be part of something. You know, he knows we've got good fans. He knows because Izzy's probably the one who I haven't worked with. He's one of the only ones that we've worked with everybody and we've been on every TV station between. You know, I'd be surprised there's many fighters who have been on so many platforms. Izzy is one that I haven't been on. Maybe Channel 5. Channel 5 might be the only one I've been on.
Mm.
But if you go from BBC, Sky, Santana, BT, honestly, DAZN, Match, we've been on them all somewhere. So Izzy might be the one forward to try and a different promoter. And definitely it'd be nice if there was some faith shown somewhere, but we'll see. I've got faith in myself, so and my team.
Good stuff. And just before I let you go, you said that a rematch with Maxi might be a possibility, especially if your next fight were to be on a GBM show. What would you do differently to ensure you came out on top if there is a return?
Annoy him so he'd fight me. No, Maxi's not an easy night. And I tell you the problem with me and Maxi, how do you sell it? It was and this is no disrespect to Maxi, he done his job perfectly, but I've watched the highlights and I did say this at the press conference. If anyone's struggling to go to sleep, look for the design highlights of me and Maxi because that is a ball fest, sleep fest. I am an aggressive counter puncher, but it's hard to hit someone he's really good at what he's done. I'd say he's got a world class, well rounded style. He's a bastard southpaw. I'm not a big fan of southpaws. They seem to be a bit of my kryptonite.
Well, at least
But
you're
yeah,
honest.
yeah, I'm way too late in the game to start trying to do anything else. I mean, look at my losses, Maxi and Jazza. They were both conclusive. Like they were just the better men on the night, better boxers on the night. And yeah, and even as my last amateur was against Campbell, he's a southpaw. Although on that one, I do 100% believe I won the fight, but it's still as a southpaw. My first English loss was against TJ Dehenny, a southpaw. I said this to Liam recently. I said it's starting to it's actually hit home. I don't really like southpaws. I didn't think I was that bad with them because I can go southpaw, but
I was going to say, you're a
the
switch hitter yourself.
yeah, the statistics don't lie though. I mean, I can't. Maybe I was lying to myself. I was thinking, I'm all right with southpaws. I could southpaw. They don't like that, but no, I've lost too many to southpaws now to start. It's finally clicked. Yeah, I don't really like them.
Well, Sam Noakes is orthodox. So.
Yeah, that's it. An orthodox who comes to have a fight, and I wish me and Liam was talking about this because if you look at again, the statistics don't lie. If you look at the styles of certain fighters, Reece Mould was in that. He was in that mold. Pardon the pun,
Very
but
good. I
it's the
think I did
truth.
one earlier, but yeah, go on.
And he went the same way. Trainer, Tennyson, and that Cuban, all orthodox fighters, all wanting to punch my teeth out, and all of them ended up stopped. So he's now the fourth one in that list. And I do think I did tell him this is the one thing because it was all for Reece, they were doing the words through GBM, but I did tell him the last man who talked to my brother like this over me ended up knocked out. And that's what was quite sweet on the night because I wanted him to be a man of his word to come and fight me, but I knew I also had to be a man of my word to do something a little bit unforeseen. And then that's why it was so sweet. So I knew what I'd say. I knew the pressure I put on myself. I knew what I expected from myself, and even that was quite surprising. Yeah, it was nice. And then I'd envisioned beating him in a way where it was undoubtable. And I did feel me and Liam did say we thought we had to win conclusive. We needed knockdowns. We needed because it was their shot. Do you know, I was the underdog. If it was close, they was always going to give it to Reece. That's what I felt. I felt like I was in Denmark here, but this time I learned from Denmark. In Denmark, I knocked my opponent down and probably let him off, not on purpose. Jesus, I didn't have the experience, but this time I knocked him down and I made sure I kept him. I learned from that
We don't talk
experience.
about the Anthony you get fight. Don't want
Oh
to get you
God, yeah.
angry.
No, yes.
The
No,
shot.
it's Dennis Salem for me. It was
Oh no,
Dennis
say
Salem for me.
Salem. Sorry, not you get.
And worse than worse than just the fight, he fails a drug test later on, then gets a world title fight against Warrington. It was like the boxing gods wanted to really piss me off with all that. I said that to Warrington in the ring. I said, Josh, I said, his career looks like it's done now. I said to him, you had a great career, done some great wins. I said, but my biggest regret, and I said this to him first to first, man to man, is that there was fighters in my prime, like yourself, really good world-class fighters. Him and Frampton will always bug me that I never got to fight him at feather. Because what's the worst that can happen? I lose. But I think both of them you know, sometimes in fights, you have such good fights that you never really lose. Your stock grows. There are fights where my stock would have grew. I don't think any of them can knock me out. That's the start. So then we're in a good fight, especially with their styles. I think me and Frampton would have been really good, really good. And I don't think neither of them could knock me out. I feel slightly bigger than them both. Not massively, but I'd never, none of them to have gone up to lightweight, have they? I've gone up to lightweight and I feel quite good at lightweight. I just feel like I'm never really bigger than anyone, but I felt bigger than them. It's weird. I think they both did start super bantam like myself. I always felt just, yeah, bigger. And them two styles have been so good. I don't have many regrets in boxing, but I signed for both of them. I actually agreed verbally, and my brother signed once. And we had the chance with Warrington, didn't we? Because I was his mandatory and he vacated. And that's another reason why I could never vacate, because I give him a lot of shit about that on Twitter. So I get my chance and you go. Come on, man.
Well, Josh hasn't officially retired yet, so you never know. It could still
Oh,
happen.
yeah, if he comes in. Yeah, I mean, I'd jump at a chance to fight Josh. I love his style, but I think that's. And I think he was doing really well the other night, the first 4 or 5 rounds. It's just something, don't know, something changed. And all credit to Kakachi, very good fighter. He's on the high and he's on the up.
Mm.
He's another great fighter. He'd be a good fight, but at the same time, he's a super feather. He'd be a lot bigger than me again. I'm not a big lightweight. Anyway, I mean, I reckon I got in the ring at 10 stone 3. I'm probably the smallest lightweight on the scene. But I'd like to think I've got a bit of speed and yeah, I can. Looks like I'm 50-50 now percent with my knockout, so I like that. Flip a coin, see what you get.
Good stuff. Mate, really appreciate the time. Was absolutely delighted to see you win on Saturday
Thank,
night. Yeah, watching it from the sofa. Even my partner loved it. She's a big fan of yours. So yeah,
oh,
really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, best of luck. Hope you get another fight in the books as soon as possible.
thank you very much, Danny. That's made me really happy. A lot of people have been like that with me. I think Reece turned a lot of people off with his attitude, and I
I've
and
always
when
liked you. It's
yeah,
nice to embrace in
yeah.
my case, but
But it just felt a bit. It's felt nice with a lot of the comments that have come back. That there's genuine. I've been in this a long time. You know, people are genuinely happy for a result and the way it went. That's been really nice. That's probably been one of my. I've just sent a message on the group to some of the lads because I'm in a football chat and I just said to them, thank you for help for being a massive part of one of the best wins and weekends in my career. It was, yeah, really special. It's one of them things you want it to last a little bit longer. It was probably Sunday, Monday morning. It just started wearing off. I have a cold shower every day. I had mine one. I haven't had it yet. I've been a bit lazy today, but the day after the fight, I could get in there all day. Do you want cold as you want? But then on the Sunday, that was really cold again when it all wore off a bit. But I'm going to send you a video after this.
not of the shower.
No, of what I sent to my group. It's about 6 minutes, but if you get bored of it at the end, it'll be a nice bit. Hopefully, give you and your partner a nice laugh.
All right, good. Yeah, I look forward to that.
Thank you, Danny.
Cheers,
Cheers,
mate.
man.
Take care. See
Can
you
I
soon.
just the one last thank you as
Go,
well to
go.
all the people, obviously the Farmy Army, all my sponsors. They were there the other night. Joe Cattrall, Billy Bird, big condolences to him. I don't know if you've seen on the night. He's lost his dad and that. Me and my friends, Eden, who cut my hair, Leon from Geezers, who owns Geezers, been an absolute star. He's the one who provided the gloves, the shorts, my t-shirts. He's been with us from the start. A friend who feeds me, Justin, and all the traveling family army. I can't give them enough props. And then it's not last but not least, one of the biggest reasons that I'm still doing this is because of the faith that Graham Everett has in me. He's actually, I couldn't even put into words how much that means to me because he backed me. He backed me financially. He backed me emotionally, physically. And I've said it, so I can't keep saying he's my boxing dad and he's been brilliant for me. His son Joe is now part of the team. He's been part of the team really since for the last 4 years. He's brilliant. It was really nice to see him in the professional because we had a conversation which I think really helped him become a professional trainer. And to see him under the lights as such doing the pads before, I'm really happy for him. But I've run on, but I hope people can feel how grateful I am
I reckon they
to
can.
everybody who was involved in it. It wasn't just I get to be that's what I done, but I couldn't have done it without all them people. And yeah, thank you.
Great stuff, mate. Take care. Speak to you soon.
Thank you. Cheers, Danny.